Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chris O Show. As you know, we always bring on some very interesting guests who have some really cool things to talk about. Today, I have Angie Holinshead, who has been a guest before, and very special guest, Dr. Lindsay MacMillan, to chat about some really cool things they've got on the go. It's something Angie and I alluded to the last time we chatted a few months ago, and now all this stuff is coming to fruition, and we're really happy and excited. So, welcome, ladies. And let's go. Just jump into what's going on.
All right. Lindsay, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I want you to start, Angie.
I know, because you might get called away at any moment.
Oh, I'll jump in.
Okay.
When necessary.
So,
yeah.
For any of you guys who did see me on the Chris O Show earlier this year, I was talking about the hopes of getting funding for a research project that we were super passionate about, and we got the funding. So now we're at the stages where we are starting to implement it. So it's a research project through the, I got to read this, Clinical Innovation Opportunity Fund in the Northern Ontario Academic Medical Association, which we're super excited about. It's in collaboration with Northern Ontario School of Medicine University, Laurentian University, and Muskoka Algonquin Healthcare. So that's all the, those details about it. So there's Dr. Lindsay. I'll let you say who you are to everybody.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Lindsay. I'm a family doctor here in Huntsville. I have a general family practice and also do low-risk obstetrics work. I just have a woman in labor right now, so I might be called away at any minute. Angie approached me, a year and a half ago, Angie, about this dream that we're going to chat a little bit about. And I'm super excited to be a part of this project. So we received this research grant funding to run a program of menopause education, including monthly education sessions that are free of charge to all women of all ages in our catchment and also beyond through Zoom. And I think it's a really needed thing in our community. I feel like it's important information to disseminate, and it's the first step in a much bigger picture, big idea, wonderful plan that Angie has up her sleeve.
Yeah, and I think
that's awesome.
It's so needed. So just to tell you how needed we have found it is. When we initially started this, we booked the Algonquin Family Health Team boardroom to have participants come to, and it seats about 14. And we currently have over 100 people registered who want to attend the in-person sessions,
nice.
Which will be on the third Wednesday of every month from 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., give or take the ending time, because people want to hang out at the Active Living Center at the Summit Center in Huntsville. So those are where the in-person sessions will be happening. I'm just jumping to that now because Lindsay, we kind of talked about it. So, and those ones will not have the Zoom because we just don't have the manpower and the technical capability to do it on that night. But the following Wednesday, the fourth Wednesday of every month, we will have the also in person. It's a hybrid one session, and it will be at the Algonquin Family Health Team boardroom because we don't have as many participants for the in person. It'll be at lunchtime, so from noon to 1. And that one is going to be via Zoom as well for anybody who either can't make the in-person or is out of our catchment area, which we've had quite a few sign up and are still progressive. Kind of cool. This was started out as a Muskoka-based thing, but has grown actually quite a bit, which we love. So that one will be recorded, and that one we will send out after it's done to anybody who can't make either one of those, either in person or via Zoom.
And every month we'll have a different topic related to menopause.
Okay, cool.
Written down here. We got the first one's menopause itself. Then we got perimenopause. Then we got one on sleep and nutrition and exercise and body changes, pelvic health, hormone therapy,
Nice.
complementary care. So every month is something different because it's such a huge topic.
Yeah.
We can not cover everything in one. So it's a 12-month, I guess, research project.
Awesome.
And we can talk a bit about the research component. So the way we got the funding was to turn this into a research project. And the idea is our proposal is that by educating women in Muskoka and beyond, it can empower them and improve their quality of life, and also educate them about menopause. So there will be questionnaires involved both pre and post the sessions that will be de-identified and used for this research, with the goal of showing that a program like this is needed in a community like ours, and that it's beneficial to women in our area and beyond.
Awesome. I will say this. There were a ton of hits and a ton of people who followed when Angie and I, just the topic, right? When we talked about the topic and some ideas that Angie had, like, as Lindsay, about what you guys are doing. But when this first initially, there was a ton of hits on it. Obviously, the age range. I don't have to go into the demographics because I can see on the stats, right? Kind of who's who. So it's obviously a need. I mean, obviously people listened, they heard it, and then you came out with it, and you started putting it out there, and it's like more and more people. I know Angie and I talked about how many more people just said, yeah, I want to be part of this, which is amazing. And I love that it's kind of research, like you're gonna prove that this is like a really important thing that we need to do more and more of, not just this one section. This one section leads to perhaps years and years of stuff going on, right?
It's true. We had an introductory session to kind of bring people together to explain the project and the sessions, and there was a tremendous huge turnout and a really great energy, and great feedback. So that got us even more excited about moving forward with this program. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And so how do people kind of sign up and register? How can we get people in there for you guys?
Good question. Angie, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I've got it written down to make sure I saw it.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I know. I'm prepared. Well, I knew you were a couple babies. So, so you can either phone, Muskoka Algonquin Healthcare. So 705-789-2311. Well, the Huntsville site, I don't think it really matters. But the extension is 2716.
Okay.
Chris, I'll send all this to you.
Yeah, send it, and I'll make sure it's posted.
Yeah.
So it's whatever the post that has all the podcast info, and that people can listen and watch and all that. They can also just click on a link and go right to it. And
awesome.
So make it easy. We'll make it easy for you, everybody who are listening or watching. We're going to make it easy.
Yeah, and the other way is to email our research coordinators at research@mahc.ca. So again, we'll include that in everything. But so Lindsay and I are co-investigators, and our super important team is Lisa Allen and Maggie, and I don't have her last name in front of me right now, or Magdalene. Yeah. So and Maggie. So you'll get all the emails from them. Lindsay and I coordinate the sessions and provide the sessions, and then the Lisa and Maggie are the ones that you get all of, they are doing the research part of it. Like Lindsay said, none of your information will be captured. You'll get a research ID number, and that's how we track things. So there is no personal information. We don't have access to it when people fill out the questionnaires. It's like, I would say total, your time commitment is maybe 1 to 2 hours, a couple hours, let's say, for watching the sessions. And there's a longer questionnaire to fill out at the very beginning. So before October 16th next week, if you register, and then the longer questionnaire will also be at the very end in 12 months. And then each month you'll have a shorter questionnaire, maybe 10 questions long. I think it is. I think we've decided. So that one's super short. So again, the time commitment isn't huge because we recognize that we are all super busy. And we just ask that you attend and give feedback. And
And there's no commitment. You don't need to fill out these questionnaires. We encourage it, but it's absolutely to each their own. It would help us in our research and in moving forward with this, but it's
Not
each
obligated.
person's decision and no obligation. You can show up with no obligation to get the information whenever you want.
And the cool part is, I love how this is kind of it is kind of like, come get the information. I think most people will fill out the questionnaire, especially knowing that none of their private information is being kept. This is just about informational purposes to kind of figure out how to tailor, the programs moving forward and make sure you can get more funding. But if you show up and you register and you get good information, that's also helpful to you guys, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I know I'm going to also post a relink to the first thing that Angie and I did. So everyone who didn't hear that can hear that again, because it's got a ton of good info and we won't make Angie go over it again. And I know Lindsay might get pulled away mid-sentence, so we don't want to do that. But what are some keys that you would say that you're going to cover, that people have kind of asked you, maybe some FAQs that you're going to cover during these programs?
Angie?
Okay. This is great. So much. Like I said, it's a massive topic. And so this is why we've broken them down into monthly sessions, because we'd have to probably provide a month-long seminar to cover everything. But some of the big ones are, vasomotor symptoms, otherwise known as hot flashes, and anxiety, and so mood changes, sleep disturbances, weight gain, hormone therapy and non-hormone therapy, complementary therapies as well, what's safe and effective. Basically, we want to make sure everybody is given like the most up-to-date evidence-based information, because there is a lot of information out there. And I think we talked about, what Chris and I the last time. So when I started my own perimenopause journey, I'm a medical professional, and there was so much contradictory information. I didn't know what was accurate, and sometimes we're dismissed by our healthcare providers, whether that's unintentional. And, I think it's mostly unintentional, but I think often a lack of education or up-to-date education, or, historically women just aren't believed. So I think that, we want to empower women to be confident to go to their healthcare providers with accurate information. But also, one of the big goals of this is to create a clinic like this where people don't need a referral from their family physician or a physician to get into it. That's a barrier to access to care. People can't get care that they need. And one of our core values is accessible care for all people. So, ideally, this is like a nurse-led clinic where we have a physician that comes in once or twice a month to provide care and support to people who don't have a family physician or a care provider. We are not there yet. This is what this is building. This is why we think it's
the first step.
This is the building the foundation.
Exactly.
Lindsay's too busy catching babies. And we don't have funding. Like for it to be tied to funding, it would have to be a referral to Lindsay. Well, how does she get that referral if somebody doesn't have a family doctor?
Exactly.
Or a nurse practitioner or somebody, right? So that's a huge part of the vision, is making sure it's accessible to all people who need this care and support.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. And just so we all know, that Angie, just because she's so passionate, she went into like 4 years down the road project.
I did.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't stop at the education. There's more. Bigger, better things.
Yeah. Well, you start the way you want to finish, right? The whole purpose. I'm putting my fingers crossed here for this clinic, but big vision.
It's a great vision. It's a great vision, and it's needed in the community, right?
There was an obvious need, right? When that many people show up and sign up, it's clear.
100%. 100%. And so
we know that, but we have to demonstrate it.
That's right.
You will. I think I'm gonna post I'm gonna post as fast as possible and get the word out there ahead of time because it's October 16th is the first one. We'll know how everyone will know how to register, easy peasy. We're gonna promote the heck out of it, and we're gonna get everybody in there, as many people as we can shove into the stuff, and
We'll pack the place,
pack the
hopefully.
place. We'll pack it with like sardines. We'll pack.
We're hoping to have guest speakers.
Yep.
You know, there's I was actually speaking to one of the owners of the Muskoka Tea Company today, and she
Nice.
was happy to bring the tea into one of the sessions.
Wonderful.
You know, which is lovely. So, you know, just people really, really jumping on board, and you as well, Chris. Right? We talked about that. Like you're, you know, we're not somebody trying to sell something, and so you're doing this out of the goodness of your time and heart, and we really appreciate
100%.
that as well. Because you're passionate about Muskoka and about providing for the people.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I try and do like, you know, it's hard. It's like Angie and I talked about this, Lindsay, the other day, where I was saying, you know, stuff like this that's important, that's needed in the community, especially when it comes to healthcare and, you know, access to care and education, all that stuff. I'm happy to promote the heck out of. You know, if you're some big corporation telling me to promote your next billion-dollar idea, maybe not. I might ask for some money on the side.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But if it's this kind of stuff where we need it, happy to promote it. Happy. And I think everybody needs to support this stuff in our community, every media outlet, you know, businesses, whoever, and the people, right? So we got to rock and roll like that. Anyways, I think
just have
go ahead.
one last point, because I always have something great to say.
I was going to ask you to say one last.
I think we also, one of, you know, our hopes and dreams anyways, to be like a go-to resource for a lot of our local physicians and primary care providers as well, because we know they're time constrained and we know there's lots of great education that needs to come out of this. So for our primary care providers who are out there watching, please feel free to join, attend when you can, you know, send your patients and stuff like that and make them aware of it. You know, we want to help support you in providing the best care that you can to your patients, because we know that you also want to do that. So,
and within the medical community, I've had a lot of wonderful feedback from some of the primary care providers in town and interest in joining for certain sessions and helping out with the education piece. So there's a real positive uptake within the medical community so far as well, which has been great.
That's awesome. Well, we have a good community, so I'm not surprised that they're willing to help out and do stuff and get involved. So that's great. So on that note, I think we're good, unless there's any other points we want to make. No.
Thank you so much for having us, Chris. It's great to help promote.
Thank you for doing this. Like, it's not easy to put that extra work into on top of both of you and your jobs and everything and lives and everything you do. So thank you for being awesome and doing stuff like this.
We're excited.
We're all excited. On that note, thank you, Angie. Thank you, Dr. Lindsay MacMillan. And everybody, just, you know, if you're even someone who needs to think about this, either join the Zoom, join one of the meetings, get registered, get involved, fill out the questionnaire if you want to.
Yeah, even before menopause, Chris. Even before. This is like stuff that we should know moving into it. You don't have to be in menopause to show up.
100%.
I think 30s. Yeah,
even in your 30s.
Yeah.
Because it could happen. Perimenopause, from what I was reading, could happen in your late 30s for some ladies. See, I was like, I'm going to have to talk about this. I got to know what they're talking about.
And I'm pretty sure you have a wife and a daughter who, you know,
I do.
At some point may go through it as well.
I do.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, watching. All the links will be ready. Thanks, Angie. Thanks, Lindsay. And we'll talk to you everybody soon. Ciao.
Pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.